Well, good evening and welcome to our stateroom on Queen Elizabeth.
Our Princess
We are
Suite, Grill Suite.
Absolutely, we're finally here. We've had quite an interesting day today, so the embarkation process, we're going to talk you through that. You might be wondering about these lilac and pink objects. Well, obviously we are Pink Octopus Productions,
Yeah.
so this is our mascot.
Yes,
Names?
this is Billy,
Billy, Lily
and just getting in there is little Millie.
and Millie as well. And there's a larger octopus at home, isn't there?
Yes, that's Clemmy.
Clemmy.
Clemmy's minding the house while we're away.
She is, and she basically couldn't fit in the suitcase, so we thought we'd bring our mascots along and show them off. So we had an interesting night because we're both suffering from jet lag. We didn't realise that jet lag basically does what it does, which is you either don't go to sleep at all, or you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and you're both absolutely wired. We actually considered walking the streets of Tokyo about 3 o'clock this morning. But we didn't. We thought we might get arrested, so we
didn't want to miss our cruise ship, so we didn't do it.
Exactly, and we were absolutely sort of just not tired, just absolutely not tired. But we managed to stay in bed, and we both dropped off to sleep about 5 o'clock this morning. I think.
Well, we were woken up by the alarm.
Woken up by the alarm.
Must have got some sleep.
But it's interesting how it affects you. You don't expect it, and then suddenly your body clock's all over the place. Anyway. Got up, we had breakfast, and our taxi driver arrived very much, before the 10:30, so that was really good. And we really enjoyed our stay in Tokyo. It's been absolutely lovely. And I think the lovely thing about coming to Japan on holiday, it's a long way to come, but everything runs like clockwork. If people say, we'll meet you at a certain time, they meet you at a certain time. And everything is absolutely as it should be.
They're never late.
They're never late, which is really, really good. So we were taken to the cruise terminal, Yokohama in Tokyo.
About an hour.
Took just over an hour, which was very, very good because we had a few glitchy bits of traffic as well. And the whole embarkation process was very good, wasn't it?
Very good, yeah.
And we were checked through, and the Japanese staff there were just so on the ball with everything. There was no faffing around or... we found checking in at Southampton last time, one of the members of staff there was quite rude and offhand and didn't really want to be there. You got the feeling she didn't really want to be doing the job, whereas the staff here were just absolutely taking a huge amount of pride in what they were doing. And so we embarked at about 12:15.
12 o'clock on the dot.
12 o'clock on the dot. Got into our stateroom. We've been upgraded to a princess stateroom, which was lovely. We only heard about that last week, so that was lovely news. And then the luggage took ages. Well, my luggage took ages to arrive, so I got a little bit panicky. But when I went down to the purser's desk, they informed me that there were 4,000 pieces of luggage they were trying to put on the ship, so it's a lot of luggage. And the vast majority of passengers on this cruise are Japanese. It's a golden week in Japan, so people are holidaying all over the place. Quite a few Americans, quite a few Australians, and a handful of us Brits as well. But your luggage arrived fairly quickly, didn't it?
My luggage came straight away.
And it was a tale of two halves, really, because his luggage arrived quickly, but unfortunately it was overshadowed by the fact that we were just about to log onto the internet on the ship and buy an internet package, and he discovered, where's my mobile phone? And we literally stripped the cabin, we stripped the stateroom looking for this mobile phone. High and low we hunted, couldn't find it anywhere. And in the end, you got off the ship, didn't you?
I did. I went back to the immigration centre, and I went all the way back to immigration, through the security, off the ship, and then through all the X-ray machine bits and the actual bit where we came in. We sat down, and every single person was really apologetic and was trying to help and looking in every single possible orifice they could find. But then nothing. So I got put back on the ship. And then when I got back on the ship, what did I find? In the bedroom, under the bed, but...
Your mobile phone. It was there.
It was here all the time.
And I'd actually looked under the bed a couple of times and not seen it. So that was a bit embarrassing.
Well, I knew I put it down. I was pretty sure I left it in this stateroom.
You were, weren't you? And the staff were just so helpful on the port. They couldn't do enough. So much so that you tried to get back off the ship.
I went back on the ship and got as far back to the security guards, but I couldn't get far beyond that. But they seemed to know what I was talking about anyway.
So that was really
that's
good.
All sorted.
In the meantime, my luggage hadn't arrived, so I had to go. I took myself off up to the the Lido, which is the buffet, and had a cup of tea and thought, if I disappear for half an hour, maybe my luggage will arrive. But I got back and it still hadn't arrived. And then finally, when I was nearly in meltdown mode,
Yes, the air was a bit blue, wasn't it?
That's it. I'm going to have to wear the same pair of pants for the next 9 days. Stress. Finally, the luggage arrived, so that was good. So by about 4:30, we got the luggage. We'd managed to unpack, and I took a quick trip down to the laundry. There's laundries on board. All the cruise ships have got laundrettes, and I always try and avoid them generally, because who wants to do their washing on holiday? But as we've been, travelling around a little bit, we had a few bits and pieces. Managed to get that done fairly quickly, so that's good. I was actually quite surprised at the number of people using the laundry, because it's the first day of this cruise, and you're thinking, well, let's face it, if you're Japanese, you're local. If you're Australian, you're pretty local. And if you're America, it's not that far away. I think it should just be British people only allowed to use the laundrette, because they are the ones that have travelled the furthest. But there you go.
Well, there you go.
But we got that done, and we had a bit of a stroll around the ship. Queen Elizabeth is lovely. It's just had a refit. And you'll see some of the interiors of that on another one of our videos. And then we sat and had a drink, nice bottle of bubbly.
Nice big bottle of bubbly,
which was very nice. And sat and had a drink on our balcony. And because one of the big things we noticed is it gets dark in Japan, whereas what are we now? It's May. At home it will be light until about 9:30. Here it's dark by 6:30. So you do notice that near, I suppose, being a bit slightly nearer the equator. And then tonight we've been up to our restaurant, which is Princess Grill, and we had a very nice meal. What did you have?
I had my favourite, which is my pork. I forgot what it's called. It's pork what?
It's pork. It's basically like a pulled pork thing, isn't it? It's a little pulled pork.
It's something to do with, they call it a suckling pig, but I can't believe it's real.
It's suckling pig,
It's probably just a piece of pulled pork with breadcrumbs. It's actually very, very, very nice with a little bit of apple and apple sauce. And I had that back in December.
You did?
On our last cruise, and I thought, must have that again this time. And after I had turbot, and after the turbot, it was a nice coffee parfait with coffee afterwards.
And a little salad and bowl of soup in the middle as well.
Bowl of soup as well, yeah.
And I had a crayfish cocktail, a salad, and then I had salmon, which was lovely, followed by a poached pear. And interestingly, we were in Queen's Grill back in December, and I would say absolutely there's no difference. There's no difference in the food.
Well, the menu's the same, really.
The menu's pretty much identical, Queen's and Princess, and I didn't notice anything different. So if you are thinking about upgrading to something a bit more special, a bit posher, and you're thinking, do I go to the top of the tree for Queen's, or do I just push myself up a bit to Princess? I'd actually recommend Princess.
Yeah, I would.
Princess is just as good as Queen's.
Yeah.
There is no difference whatsoever. In fact, if anything, I'd say the service was better for Princess. And the other thing about Princess is our stateroom is slap bang in the middle of the ship, so we don't get that kind of turbulence that you get if you're at the aft end of the ship, which a lot of people in Queen's complain about. They've got these lovely big suites with huge balconies, and they spend the night juddering around because they're stuck at the back of the ship. So if you think of spending loads of extra money on a Queen's Grill cabin, my suggestion is don't bother.
Princess, yeah.
Either go club balcony if you want something a bit special.
Yeah.
I think the key thing is, if you are into a slightly more intimate dining experience, we definitely suggest at least club balcony, really. A lot of people who use the Britannia restaurant complain now about the food. They say the portions aren't very big, it's often very busy, you just don't get that personal service that you get in the other restaurants. And if you're club balcony, you've got your own dining room. We've always liked club balcony. We love Princess. This is the third cruise we've done on Queen Elizabeth, and it's the third time we've been upgraded to Princess. And it's brilliant.
How many times have you been upgraded on other ships? Not once.
Not on any other ships, no. The only time we've ever been upgraded is on Queen Elizabeth.
Lucky ship.
Which is really good. So I would recommend Princess.
If you're in a big group of lots of people, you could get away with Britannia quite easily, because you're so in cruise with your friends that you might not worry too much about the
Yeah,
what you're actually
you might
eating
do,
at the
mightn't
time.
you? That's it. But in terms of the dining experience, I think Princess is neck and neck with Queen's. And I would say, if you're going to think about Queen's, unless you want a really big palatial suite, don't waste your money, because Princess Grill is just as good on so many levels. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We're going to go for a stroll around the ship now. It's dark, and we're still sailing out of Tokyo. It's a massive place, but we're going to go. We're going to have a little stroll around the ship and basically shake our dinner down, and then we're going to go and see, what show are we going to see?
We're going to see a singer.
We're going to see a singer.
Georgia Moffat.
Okay, that will be good.
It will.
And the shows on Cunard are great.
They are.
So from us
And
our family of octopus is
goodbye.
Please do subscribe to Pink Octopus Productions. We'd love you to. And farewell. See you again soon.
Good night.